Good morning, students. This is your 8th class physics, chapter number 9, force and pressure. So, children, this chapter is divided into two topics, force, and the second topic is pressure. So, let's start with the first topic, that is force. So, children, in this chapter, we are going to learn about defining force. We will see the properties of force, and then we will try to understand the effects of force. Then we are going to talk about two types of forces, that is contact force and non-contact force. And in that, we will see the various examples of contact and non-contact force, right? Let's begin with the chapter. Now, children, firstly, we should know the word states of motion, right, children? So, an object, it is either at rest or it is moving. So, when we say that an object is at rest, what does it mean? It means that the speed of the object its speed is zero. If the speed of an object is zero, then we will say the object is at rest, right? Let's try to understand the second term, and that is state of motion. State of motion. So, children, what do we mean by state of motion? So, if you want to describe the state of motion, then we will describe it in terms of its speed as well as the direction of motion. So, if an object is moving, if a car is moving, then we will describe its state of motion by describing or by stating its speed. We will say that the car is moving with a speed of 30 kilometers per hour towards Jaipur, towards Talwandi, right? Towards Mittal International School. So we need to specify the speed as well as the direction. Then the object is said to be in motion. Okay. Now let's start with force. So children, when you open a door. Second, when you are riding a bicycle or when you are lifting any object, what are you doing? You are pulling the object or you are pushing the object. When you are opening the door, you are pulling the door. When you're riding the bicycle, you are pushing the pedal of the bicycle. When you're lifting an object, you are pulling the object, right? Let's see further. When you kick a ball, means you are pushing the ball, right? When you push the desk or when you are lifting a pen from the desk, means you are pulling a pen from the table, right? So all these actions that are hitting, pedaling, pulling, pushing, plucking, lifting, kicking, right? These all are the actions which show the application of force. So, how can you define force? So, children, basically all these actions, that is hitting, kicking, flicking, pushing, lifting, moving, right? They all can be divided, they all can be categorized either a pull or a push. So, force can be defined as a pull or a push which is acting on an object. And when you pull or push an object, what will happen? It might change its state of rest or motion. Means when you are applying force on an object, its state of motion might change. Means if it is at rest, it may come in motion, and if it is in motion, it may come to rest, right? Here we have used the word tends. Tends means it may change its state of rest or motion, right? For example, if we apply force on a wall, does the wall move? No, but we tried, right? So force is defined as a pull or push on an object which tends to change its state of rest or motion. So this is the definition of force. Okay, now let's move to the second part. So children, if you want to describe force, you require two things. You need to tell the magnitude, that how much force, that how much gives the strength of the force, right? And secondly, to describe force, you need to give the direction of force, that in which direction you are pulling or pushing the object. So the direction in which you are pulling or pushing an object is known as the direction of force. So in order to describe force, you need to give the magnitude. Magnitude is the number, right? So for example, if you want to measure force, so if you want to measure the length of your science book, then you will keep a scale and you will tell ma'am the size of the science book is about 15 centimeter. So children, centimeter is a unit to measure length. If you measure the size of a table, you will say that ma'am the table is of 1.5 meter, right? If you want to measure your mass, then you will say, ma'am, my mass on the weighing balance, I found it to be 35 kg. So what is kg? Kg is a unit to measure mass. Similarly, the unit to measure force is Newton. And how you're going to write Newton, children? Either you write full Newton beginning with the small letter n, or you can write the symbol that is capital N, right? So it can be written as NEWTON with small letters, or you can write capital N, that is the symbol for force. So when in exam the question will be asked, say the SI unit of force, you will mention the SI unit of the force is N. This is also done, or you can write this also, right? But don't begin with capital NEWTON, because children, this will indicate the name of the scientist Newton. They have not asked you the name of the scientist. They're asking you about the SI unit of force. So it has to start with the small letter N. Right, Pita? So force requires magnitude. So if I say I am applying 10 Newton force on the table to move it. So what is 10? 10 is the number, that is magnitude, that shows the strength of the force. And what is Newton? Newton is the unit of force, right? So the SI unit of force is Newton. Now children, these are the properties of force. Suppose here two children are applying force, right? First boy is Ram and the other boy is Sham. So suppose Ram is applying a force of F1 Newton. Here we can see Ram is applying a force of F1 Newton towards the left direction. Sham is also applying a force of F2. F1, F2 क्या है? वो forces हैं. Suppose Ram is applying a force of 10 Newton and Sham is applying a force of suppose 5 Newton. So F1 is 10 Newton and F2 is 5 Newton. So what is the total force on that box? What is the resultant force on that box? So when the forces are applied in the same direction, they both are applying the force towards the left direction. So when the direction of the force is same, then the total force, the resultant force or the net force will be obtained by adding them. So F equals to F1 plus F2. And here in this case, F equals to 10 plus 5, that is 15 Newton. So the resultant force in this case is 15 Newton. Right. Now let's see the second case. Here children, we were having two another boys. First boy name is Mohit and other is Pratik. So suppose Mohit is applying a force of 10 newtons towards right and Pratik is applying a force of 6 Newton towards the left. Now you can see that they are applying opposite forces. So if you want to find the total force here, if you want the force here, then you will find it out by subtracting the two because their direction is opposite. So here children, F equals to 10 minus 6, that is 4 Newton towards, direction क्या होगा बेटा? Towards right, because the force on the right side, that is 10 Newton, is more. So this is how you're going to find the resultant force, right? So let's see in the next slide, the resultant force. So when the forces are in the same direction, so when the forces are acting in the same direction along the same line, the resultant force is obtained by, the resultant force is equal to the sum of the two forces. Here in this diagram, you can see that the force X is 50 Newton, the force Y is 50 Newton. They both are towards your left hand, right? Left side. So they both are in the same direction. So the total force will be equal to the sum of the two forces. So it is 50 plus 50, that is 100 Newton. Let's see in the figure over here. The two workers, they are lifting the sofa and they are applying each a force of 20 Newton and 25 Newton towards the right direction. So the direction of application of force is same. Both are applying a force towards right. So the net force, the resultant force will be obtained by adding them. So it is 25 plus 20, that is 45 Newton towards right. Right, children? Okay. This is the forces when they are acting in the same direction. Now let's see the examples of forces when they are acting in the opposite direction. So when they are in opposite direction, the resultant force is equal to the difference of the two forces. That is, you are going to subtract the two forces, right? So let's see this example. Here, children, the two boys, they are pulling the cart that is full of stones in opposite direction. So this X boy is pulling it towards the right with a force of 300 Newton. The Y boy is pulling towards left with a force of 300 Newton. So both are pulling the cart with same force but in opposite direction. So opposite, so we are going to subtract them. So the resultant force is 300 Newton minus 300 Newton, that is 0. Right, beta? Let's see one more example. Children, here on this cart, a boy, his name is Jessim. He is sitting. His father is pulling Jessim towards the left with a force of 150 Newton. And another boy, Jerk, is pulling Jessim's cart towards right with a force of 85 Newton. वो इस तरफ pull कर रहा है. Now the direction of force is opposite. So the resultant force is obtained by subtracting the two forces. So 150 minus 85 is 65 Newton. So father is pulling with more force. How much more? 65 Newton force more. So the cart in which Jessim is sitting will move towards the father with the force of 65 Newton. Got it, beta? Okay. Now, children, we are going to discuss about the effects of force. Means when you apply force on an object, what will happen? So there are 5 effects of force. The first effect of force is force can produce motion. Means force can start motion. Right. Second is force can stop motion. Yes. Third one is force can change the direction of motion. Fourth one, force can change the speed of motion. Here, force can either increase the speed or it may decrease the speed. And the last point is force can change the shape and size of an object, right? Now, let's try to understand them one by one. First point is force can produce motion, right? So, children, when you apply force on a rigid body, right? The body is rigid means it is solid body, right? If you apply force on it and it is at rest, then and it is free to move, it is not fixed somewhere, right? And you go and apply force on it and it is free to move, what will happen? It will begin to move, it will start moving in the direction of force. For example, here this is a football, right? And this is lying on your school playground. So when you go to the playground, you see the football is lying at rest. The football is not moving, it is lying stationary on the ground. You go there and you kick the football. So when you kick the football in this direction, the football which was at rest, it starts moving. It comes to motion. Which direction? It comes to motion in the direction of force. Here we are applying the force towards right direction. So football will move towards the right direction. Right, beta? So this is an example of force producing motion. Initially, the football was at rest. But when you kick the football, means you are applying force on the football, it comes into motion. It starts motion. So, when a football is kept on the ground and is kicked with the foot, it starts moving. Thus, force exerted on the football moved the stationary football. Similar, let's see more examples. A book placed on the table moves when pushed. So a book is lying on the table, it is at rest. When you push it, it comes into motion, right, beta? Next example, the branches and the leaves of the tree shake due to the force of wind. When a strong wind is blowing, because of the force of wind, the branches and the leaves of the trees, which if they are initially at rest, it comes into motion, right? Due to force of wind. Same, we pull a car door to open. See, when we apply the force on the car door, which was at rest, it comes into motion when you are pulling it. It comes into motion because you applied force on it, right? Similarly, the last example which I have given here is, here you can see in the picture, a golfer is hitting a stationary ball. He's hitting a ball which is at rest, right? And when he hits it, when he applies force on it, it comes into motion and it moves towards the direction of force. This direction में golfer ने force apply किया है. In that direction, the ball will come into motion. So this is your first effect, that force can produce motion. Let's see the second effect. Force can stop motion, right? So how is it possible? Suppose you are having a moving body, right? So that moving body, you can stop it by applying force on it. But this time you will apply the force in the opposite direction. जिस direction में body move कर रहा है, उससे opposite direction में force लगाओगे, then only the object will stop. Let's see an example. In example 1, you can see that the cricketer, the fielder over here, is applying a force with his hand in this direction, right? And the ball is coming towards him in this direction. So can you see the direction of motion of ball and the direction of application of force by the fielder? They are in opposite direction. If the fielder wants to stop the moving ball, he is applying the force in the opposite direction. So in cricket, the fielder on the ground, he stops the moving ball by applying force with his hand. Similarly, a moving ball, a ball which is rolling on the ground, you will see that after some time, it automatically comes to rest. अपने आप रुक जाती है. Why? Because if the ball is moving in this direction, then in the opposite direction, there is some force acting. That is the force of friction, that is given by the ground. Ground उसे रोकता है continuously in the opposite direction, and so the rolling ball stops, right? Next, you might have seen the rotating top moving, right? That also, if you go and put your hand on it, what will happen? As you applied force with your hand, the rotating top stops. So when you apply force on a moving body in opposite direction of its motion, it comes to stop. So this is your second effect, that is force can stop motion. Let's talk about the third effect of motion, that is force can change the speed of a moving body. So children, when you apply force on a moving body, right, if you apply in the same direction in which the body is moving, जिस डायरेक्शन में बॉडी मूव कर रही है, अगर आप उसी डायरेक्शन में फोर्स अप्लाई करो, then the body will start moving faster. But if you apply force in opposite direction of motion, then the body will slow down. Let's see an example. Here you can see, children, that a person, an uncle, is pushing the bicycle on which a kid is driving, right? He's driving a bicycle, and the uncle is pushing it in the direction of motion. The uncle is applying a force in the direction of motion. So what will happen? As the direction of force and direction of motion of the cycle, they are same. So the speed of the bicycle will increase. The bicycle will move faster. Yes. Now if the uncle, he starts pulling the bicycle back, वो पीछे की तरफ pull करने लग जाता है instead of pushing. So the direction of force is opposite to the direction of motion of moving cycle. So what will happen? The speed of the cycle will decrease. The cycle will slow down, right, beta? So this shows you that if you apply force in the direction of motion, the speed will increase. But if you apply force in the opposite direction to motion, the speed will decrease, right? Similarly, you might have observed that when you are sitting on a swing and someone is pushing your swing from back, so your swing starts moving faster. So this shows you the next effect of force, that is the force can change the speed of a moving ball. It may increase, it may decrease depending upon the direction of application of force. Next is force can change the direction of a moving body, right? So if children, you apply force in a perpendicular direction, right? Then what will happen? Only the direction will change. But if you apply force in any other angle, then both will change. Speed will also change, direction will also change. Let me explain you this. Perpendicular means here you can see that the batsman is holding the bat like this, and the ball is coming towards him like this. The ball is, I have shown the bat with the red. This is the direction of the bat. And I'm showing the ball with the yellow color, and the direction of the ball is coming from here. So if you see the angle between the bat and the ball, it is 90 degree. So when the batsman is applying the force at 90 degree, that is at perpendicular direction of बॉल, देन व्हाट विल हैपन? बॉल जिस स्पीड से आई है उसी स्पीड से वो वापस चली जाएगी इन ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन. बॉल इज कमिंग लाइक दिस, लाइक दिस. व्हेन द बैट्समैन इज गोइंग टू हिट द बॉल विल मूव लाइक दिस, लाइक दिस. सो व्हेन फोर्स इज अप्लाइड परपेंडिकुलर टू द डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन, the direction of the ball or the body will change. Only direction, speed वही रहेगी उसकी, right? But here you can see Mr. Sachin Tendulkar. The ball is coming like this and he hit the ball, and you can see when he is applying force with his bat, the direction of ball has changed, right, beta? So when a batsman, he hits the ball with his bat, the direction of the ball changes, right? Next, children, you might have done this, that to the burning incense sticks, agarbatti, right? When you blow air from your mouth, अगर आप उस पे फूंक मारते हैं, then the smoke direction changes, right? So this proves that when you apply force on an object, it can change the direction of the motion, right? Now, the last effect of force is force can change the shape and size of an object. So children, suppose you are applying force on a body which is not rigid, means it is flexible and it is not free to move. Then what will happen, children? Then its shape and size will change. Let's say some example. You might have seen your mother preparing dough. मम्मा पहले आटा गूंथती है. So when she is applying force with his arm, with his fist, right, the shape of the dough changes. And when she is using a rolling pin and she is turning the ball into the chapati, she is again applying force and the shape again changes. Similarly, when you apply force on a dough, when sponge, or on a balloon, or on a rubber ball, you will see that its shape, size changes. Right, beta? Next example here you can see that if you stretch a rubber band, you will see that the shape and the size of the rubber band, it changes. So these are the effects of force. Okay, beta? So with this, we'll end our class here. We'll continue in the next class. Thank you. Take care.